On today's episode of Watch Share Go, we work on a car you probably forgot I owned. I think I did too. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Share Go, and today we are here with my 2012 Fiat 500 Abarth, and I started changing all the fluids on this thing a very long time ago with Zach. So it was a little bit colder when I started changing the fluids, and we put Motul Gear 300 in it, and we recorded all that, and then I realized I forgot the oil filter. So we stopped that night, and today we're gonna finish the oil change. It's been a long time, I haven't really driven it since. But over here, we have a lot of new stuff for this car. It will be 100% Motuled out. We've got some RBF 660, changed the brake fluid. We've got some Motul 8100 XS 5W40, which is the factory spec. This is the best oil we can put in the thing. We've got the Mopar oil filter right here. It's a M0241, pretty standard cartridge filter. Yes, with a new O-ring, of course. And we have the multi-air filter, which is, honestly, we did one on a Fiat 500X a few videos back with Tyler. I think you guys might have seen that. Pretty unnecessary if you ask me. I really don't think this thing ever needs changed. If the oil filter is doing its job, there should not be debris in this thing. So we're changing it because a lot of people say that, you know, they needed to change it at an interval. I don't think it's true. That filter looked absolutely perfect, and taking it out could do more harm than good, I think. People are gonna argue that point, but it's Loctited from the factory, and it has a Allen head on the end of it right there. And you're basically pulling a bunch of Loctite off the threads into the housing, and tough to clean out. It's just a little screen. But anyway, here's the filter number. If you want to get one for yourself, I'll put it in the description below. It's a 0055238665-001. That should fit every single one of the multi-air engines, like the Fiat 500X and the Abarth, most of the turbo cars, and maybe even all of them. So let's get to it. Time to get some fresh oil in this car. I'm here with Gabe. We're in the Saturn Sky Red Line, and we're at the Fiat dealership for what will probably be the last time. There were rumors last week, of course, where people had said that the 500 and the Abarth and a couple other models that still exist were being canceled. And those were just rumors. And now, of course, it's official. Fiat is pulling back out of the US. Sales are terrible, but I think the X sold something like 26 cars or something in the last month. Really bad. The sales numbers were absolutely appalling. So it's been rough for Fiat, and nobody's buying them anymore because the model's never been updated, and it's really hard to improve on that car. There probably will never be another one like the Fiat 500 Abarth. There's no Fiats. They've already pulled out. They still have the sign up, but there's no cars. It does look like there's a queue up here though. Thank you, sir. No problem. Pretty good. Where's parts? Well, never mind. They moved parts over into the Dodge dealership. $9.64. It didn't cost any more than buying one from O'Reilly's or anything.
Lucky.
Figured we'd go OEM for the last time.
This is the last one in Wichita.
It's definitely the last one in Wichita. Probably one of the last ones for sale.
Amazing.
0 mile Abarth. It's loaded too.
Ooh, I like the sunroof.
I love it. Oh, the sunroof's.
It's like its own spoilers.
These are the 17s, I think. Yeah, they look really good.
They do look nice.
Ah, the oil table here. All right. So, slide this guy right there, and we're gonna take out our fill port on our transmission. Fill plug. This is a, what is it, like a 12 millimeter Allen key?
Something large.
Yeah, 12 mil hex. So, here we go. Hopefully we don't lose any fluid right here. I don't think we will though. I'm pretty sure it's higher than the fill. There we go. Cool. Dry. So getting the drain plug out of your Fiat 500 Abarth transmission is a nightmare. We had to do all that. It's all over my gloves. Wow. Man, that's not pretty. That fluid is...
It's not black.
Nope, and there's not too much metal on that for what, 124,000 miles, little bit of shavings. We had to custom build the 12 millimeter Harbor Freight hex socket there, so you have to shave off a little bit of it so it'll fit between the frame rail and the plug. So
all goes right up in there.
Yep.
See how there's much space.
So we're gonna get to cleaning now, clean up that mess I just made. and then we can start refilling this thing with Gear 300. Soaked right through my gloves. As always, shout out to Motul for having the greatest bottles in the world.
Those are cool.
Yes, sir. We can just shove the spout right into the end of the transmission and fill it, which is awesome.
Should you put the plug back in?
I wanted to flush it with like a little tiny bit of fluid first. So we should see a little bit coming out right now. I put in like one squeeze. There we go.
There you go.
Cool. Get some fresh new fluid out of it. Should end up flushing out the bottom of that thing. And then I'll put the drain plug back in and we will be good to go. I think the fluid capacity of the trans is 2 quarts. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill to there. And I think it's the usual fill method where you fill till it comes out, till it starts to drip out of the fill port, and then you're dead on the money. And we've got our plug all cleaned up. You can see the magnet is perfect again. Just finished filling it. It took 2 quarts exactly. So that's right on the money where we got to 2 quarts. And it just started dripping back through the threads, so that was awesome. I was very excited to see that. And now we can use our super custom shallow 12 mil hex socket here. It doesn't work nearly as well as it did before. Okay, I'll put that close to flush. I'd say that's good. Look how pretty that thing is.
Oh, I see what happened here. What are you?
Listen. Anyway, 100% Jake's here, and he's gonna help us out too. So let's get the hood open. We got some gloves on. Pull out that nifty short hood prop.
I mean, it's like physically not that much bigger than the 3-cylinder mine. So
It's so small. It's actually so much power out of an engine so small. It's impressive. So we're gonna pull off this little cam cover here, the belt, the timing cover. So there's a 10 right here. I went ahead and loosened that just a little bit. See if I can get the bolt out of here. I think I've just about got the cover off. Hopefully that's the end of the bolt. And there we go. I had to pull the intake off so we could access that lower bolt. Yeah, there we go. Get the wiring harness out of the way and hopefully just wiggle this guy up and out. There we go. The filter is right there. It's a little tough to see this guy, but wherever that's inset, that's where that filter's at. And I'm gonna go ahead and just loosen it and see if I can slide it out and to the side so that I don't have to mess with pulling that engine mount off. It's not a big deal. Just pull the coolant reservoir. Obviously we did the engine mounts on this. They're brand new. I did them right when I got the car. If I can avoid taking them off, I'm absolutely going that route. So hopefully this is no big deal. Ooh, this thing is a 10mm Allen wrench. It's a monster. So I think I might have to pull the engine mount just because you can't get the Allen wrench down in there. So we'll go ahead and try to work it in, see what happens here. And it doesn't look like I have the access to turn the Allen wrench far enough. If you have a socket-based 10, you might be able to do that with a swivel, so I'm gonna see if I've got that over here. Turns out we have the ultimate tool, like a short 10mm 1/4 inch drive, and I think this is gonna work. We're about to find out. Oh, yes. Okay, I don't know if we can get enough torque on this baby little ratchet, but let's see. We're gonna need an extension. Let's see if this will work. I bet it will. Yeah, there it goes. This is going to be a long, time-consuming process, but it's gonna come out.
Reverse threads.
I just stripped it into the engine block. No, I know it's a normal thread. It's coming right out now. If you want to save yourself a bunch of time and not jack the car up, which we have to do anyway because of changing the oil, this might be your solution.
Is oil going to come pouring out of that when you move it?
I don't think so. Just a little bit. Obviously, a little bit is coming out, but it's just what's in the head.
So let's see, what is this actually? Oh yeah,
It's just a screen, plastic screen that costs like, I don't know, maybe $40. The dealership had never ordered one. It wasn't even in inventory. That's how like pointless changing it is. They were like, you're the only person who's ever got one of those. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I don't think you need to.
The internet makes it sound like such a big deal.
They do. I mean, we're about to find out if it's a big deal, if this one's dirty or not. Hand me the new one. Thank you, sir. Going in.
Literally just like 2 drops of oil.
There is nothing in there. That screen is absolutely flawless. I ruined my gloves for this. Getting everything finished up underneath here, we've got the insane amount of oil this engine takes, like 5+ quarts. Just about got it drained out, and then we're gonna swap the filter, and we'll be ready to refill it with some Motul. And that should be the end of this oil change. Just gotta do the brake fluid real quick. We got the filter loosened up a little bit here. We'll stick the pan right here in case we get some drainage out of the filter. And it looks like we got that lined up pretty well. So the filter is like a 1 1/16 or like a 21 mil, something like that, cartridge filter, like we were saying. And it's gonna be a little tricky. I had to pull the intake just to get it off. Obviously there's no room to access that guy. So now we can come down here, pull the filter off over the pan so that we don't dump oil everywhere. Install our new O-ring here. Work this thing back down in here, which is a kind of a tricky song and dance. This is my assembly to tighten that thing down. We've got a big 1/2 inch extension, a wobble extension, and the good swivel on there, and a 1 1/16. Just got all the oil out of it, and we are ready to put in our replacement oil. Luckily, don't need a funnel or anything, so we've got the awesome pourable bottles here. So we'll pull the funnel out. Turns out this thing takes a little less oil than I thought. I was pretty sure it took over 5 quarts, but it turns out it's like 3.8, which sounds a lot more believable for a 4-cylinder anyway. This is gonna be a fun pour. Start, there it goes. There we go.
Okay, we just got the oil changed on the Abarth, but it's still saying that you gotta change the oil. But we just did that. But we gotta tell it that we did that. So the process for resetting that oil light is, you'd think that it would use these menu buttons here on the gauge cluster, but of course not. That would make far too much sense. Instead, what you do is you turn the ignition on, and then we push the gas pedal down 1, 2, 3 times within 5 seconds, and then turn the car off, and then we're gonna start it real quick. Blown out eardrums in 3, 2, 1. No more oil light, just a myriad of check engine lights because it's Italian.
There's just one check engine light. It's 0420. It's all good.
Oh yeah, that happens.
But yeah, that thing sounded really good. Now it's time to get the good stuff in the brake fluid reservoir. We've got my oil syringe here that's got the brake fluid seals in it. Make sure we get everything nice and clean, and we're gonna suck all the oil out of here. So, stick it down in there, and we'll start by getting the reservoir cleared. Probably take a couple tries here. That's not terrible. We've seen worse, but we're gonna get it nice and fresh. Once we get that cleared, we'll go ahead and bleed the brakes. Now we're gonna try to fill this without spilling it all over the ECU.
I think you gotta come from this side.
I do think I could come from that side, but you gotta get the bottle like really low. It worked. It worked.
Listen, I went to engineering college for 2 months.
Heck yeah. All right, we are at max level. We are ready to start bleeding. All right, bleeding done. I think it's good, man. We got the wheels back on. Pedal feels super firm. I'm pretty excited about that. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to 100% Jake for helping. Subscribe, link in the description below. And don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjayrgo.com where you get cool shirts not like this. And please, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I'll talk to you next time. I almost hit you in the face. Jake almost died. Loaded up an LS engine real quick that's getting out of here, and now it's time to go rip it. No more caution light. Ah, yes, much better. Have engine checked. I don't think I will. First time driving stick? Yeah, I forgot how to do it. Such good sounds. Sneeze, but I can't. Oh, don't do that while you're holding brake fluid. That is a big mistake.
All right, so obviously the question is, you get locked in a trunk or something like that, how do you get out?
Awesome, thank you.
They always have one of these cool little pool stickers right there, right? Who's gonna get locked in this little space here.
Your baby.
Okay, your baby's gonna know to unlock this and pull this.
Look, all I know is that you can fill this with ice and it's a cooler, and I love that.
That is a great idea.
So nice.
I'll give you that. And you can even hook up the blender for your...
You can fill it all the way up with ice.
You can fill it all the way, hook up the blender, and you've got your margaritas.
There you go.